Hello and welcome back. This is the second half of your subscription lessons, Learning How to Read Notes. I'm James Manuele. I will be your teacher, and today we're going to begin on how to understand how to read notes on guitar. So the book that I would like to use is going to be the Hal Leonard Basic Guitar Method 1. This book has been out for a very long time. You can obtain it through local music stores, through Amazon. It's very easily accessible to purchase the book. I want to be walking you through on a few pages, on pages 4 and 5, and giving you some definitions on music symbols. So the first thing, as you open up your Hal Leonard book, look on page 5, and what this will do, this will give you an idea on how to understand some symbols in order how to read notes on guitar. So first of all, he introduces the staff. Now what a staff is is 5 lines, or it's a grid on how we notate notes, or pitches rather, and how high or how low the pitch will be. So this is not the 6 strings of the guitar. This is not what we call tablature. So this is going to be a grid or a staff, again, to indicate how high or how low the pitch will be and what the pitch will look like on paper. Now with the staff, we have a treble clef. There are a lot of different clef signs in music depending on the instrument you may play. Guitarists, we use treble clef. That will encompass most of the pitches, how high or how low we can play those notes on guitar. So the treble clef is the clef that we will always use. Although some of the bass notes that the 6-string guitar does have, it actually goes into the bass clef, but we are only using a few notes. We continue to use the treble clef and add ledger lines with that. But we'll be discussing that a little bit later in the videos, a series. So the next line down on page 5 in the Hal Leonard book will be the notes on the lines and the notes on the spaces. We have on the lines, they're basically spelled E, G, B, D, and F. And the lines in the spaces, they spell face. But in order to learn the notes on guitar, we're going to use the instrument itself and learn the first 3 notes on the first string of the instrument. Let's continue on down through the page on page 5. Now, along with the staff, what we'll be supplying on the staff will be bar lines. Once we put the bar lines on the staff itself, we can create a measure, thus giving you how we measure music in time. That's why we're calling it measures. So these boxes that we are creating when we supply the bar lines on the staff or measure, we are indicating on how we group notes and how we measure music in time. Okay, going even the next step down on page 5, we have what we call a time signature. This is going to be very, very important. So we have a fraction. So with this fraction, we have 2 numbers, of course. The top number will always tell you how many beats there are in each of these measures that we have. I wouldn't say how many notes, but how many beats. So if we have this fraction 4/4, this is also called common time, which means we use this time signature quite often in music. It's the most common time signature that is used. Now, the bottom number will tell you what type of note is going to receive the beat. So when we see a 4/4, the 4 is going to represent the quarter note value, and we'll be talking about the 3 different note values just in a second. So the 4 is going to equal a certain type of note value, which will be the quarter note. So as we continue through the time signature, again, the top number would tell you how many beats there are in a measure. We have different note values to add up those 4 beats, as long as it's going to be 4 beats. Now let's take a look at the bottom portion on page 5. We have 3 different type of note values that we'll be working with. We have the whole note, which is going to be worth 4 counts or 4 beats. We have the half note, which is going to be worth 2 beats, and the quarter note, which will be worth 1 beat. Now, as I said before, the 4 on the bottom portion of the fraction is going to equal the quarter note. So the tempo or the beat, these are going to equal quarter note values that we'll be working on in 1 second. Now, the tempo itself has nothing to do with the time signature. The tempo is simply defines on how fast or how slowly you'll be playing the melody or the song. So the player will be the one who indicates the tempo markings. So again, before we start to learn the first 3 notes, time signature. Top number tells you how many beats. The bottom number tells you what type of note is receiving the beat. Note values, whole note 4 beats, half note 2 beats, quarter note 1 beat. Okay, now as we continue through the Hal Leonard book, we'll be turning to page number 6. Now, if you look on top of page number 6, it will tell you 3 different type of charts. The E string. On the E string, if you play the open first string of the guitar, as we just did here, that open E, that's going to be the E string, thus that's the first note that we will be learning. Now, what the E string looks like in the staff, the E note is going to sit on the very top space on the staff. So the E is going to represent the very top space, and that's what it looks like on paper. Now, as we go through the 3 notes on the first string, we will be pressing our first finger, first string, first fret, and striking only that string. Give it some pressure and squeeze. That's going to be the F. That's the F note on the first string. Now, the F note is going to lie on the very top line of the staff. It's going to be a little bit higher than the E. E, F. Okay, let's take a look at the G. So G will be 3rd finger, first string, 3rd fret. And the G is going to sit on the staff on the very top of the staff. It's going to sit right on top of that, those 5 lines, which is the staff. So we have the 3 notes that we do have is E, F, and G. Okay, now we need to put them together in exercises to learn how to read them together. Again, very similar to the chords, we can't learn one chord at a time. We need to learn chords with other chords and chord progressions. The notes are the same thing. We learn notes by relationship. So, exercise number 1 on page 6 in your Hal Leonard book. We have all whole notes. Remember, the whole note is going to get 4 beats, so will sustain for 4 beats. Let's walk through this exercises. I will give us 4 beats. This is going to be our tempo. 3, 4 counts, and we'll begin. 1, 2, 3, begin. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4. F, 2, 3, 4. And E, 2, 3, 4. Very good. Those are the whole notes. Notice they sustain for 4 counts. Let's take a look at exercise 2. We have now the half notes. The half notes. So now the half notes are going to receive 2 counts. So all 3, the E note, the F note, and the G note, but we'll be receiving 2 counts each. Here we go. I'll give us your tempo again, and we will play exercise number 2. 1, 2, 3, begin. 1, 2, 3, 4. F. 1, 2, G, 1, 2, 4, G, 1, 2, and E, 2, 3, 4. Very good. Now, a few words on how to strike the note. This is not a specific style of playing. I think the best way to strike the note with the right hand is simply use your thumb. If you're comfortable using a pick, use a pick. Or you can use one finger with the index, or just your thumb. The most important thing that we are reading the notes and understanding the note values. Okay, let's take a look at exercise number 3. Now we have quarter notes. We have 4 quarter notes per measure, and the quarter note is the beat. So here's your 4 free counts, and we will play exercise number 3. 1, 2, 3, begin. 1, 2, 3. F, 1, 2. G, 1, 2. F, 4. Very good. Okay, so let's continue on with these exercises on page 6 and 7 in your Howliner book. Let's take a look on top of page 7 and let's take a look at exercise number 4. Now he's going to mix up the notes a little bit more, okay? A little bit more than he has been. So let's just continue through the exercises. Play slowly. You don't have to play quickly. And I will pick the tempo again. Here we go. Exercise number 4. 1, 2, ready, begin. Very good. Okay, as we continue on, let's go to exercise 5, and I'll give us 4 free counts. 1, 2, 3, begin. G. All right, let's try exercise 6. Here we go. And 1, 2, 3, begin. Half notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. Okay. As the more that you read, you will get more comfortable reading notation and understanding music as a language. It's an everyday process, so I really would highly recommend that you will make it a daily exercise, because that's the best way to learn, and keep it with you. All right, number 7, exercise 7. Notice there are 2 lines in exercise 7. The reason being he's trying to illustrate the double bar line, which indicates the ending of a song or ending of a melody. The first line of 7 has just a single very light bar line, and that means the melody has not ended yet. The second line, as you can see, the ending of the second line has a black double bar line. That means it has ended. So number 7 has 2 lines. So let's start with number 7. Mostly all quarter notes. He begins on the open E, and here's your tempo. 1, 2, 3, begin. Second line. Very good. Okay. Now let's take a look at the last exercise of notes in this first series of lessons in your subscription for the basic guitar. He has entitled this Spanish theme. So we only have 3 notes, but I guess he did some of the how he arranged the notes, so it makes it almost really like a melody instead of just repeated notes. So let's play the Spanish theme, and he starts with half notes and the open E. So we'll give you 4 free counts. 1, 2, ready, begin. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2. Second line. Very good. Excellent. So again, we have covered the E and the F and the G note on the first string of the guitar on pages 6 and 7 in the Hal Leonard Basic Method 1 book. So play these exercises as much as you can. Repeat them over and over again until you have them pretty securely. And as we continue through this series on learning the basic guitar, we'll be covering more chord progression, strumming patterns, and also learning more notes in first position. Thank you very much for watching. My name is James Manuele. Keep playing guitar.